My name is Alia Madi Habiti Asmawi. My metric number is 287940. First of all, the significance behind evaluating Gardenia Bakeries KL is to understand the supply and demand of Gardenia bread, subjecting to the changes brought by numerous factors. From a different perspective, this study enabled us to uncover their tactics and approaches as well as assumptions Gardenia uses to stay competitive in a highly competitive market as a brand to differentiate itself from other competitors, including small and medium-sized enterprises in Malaysia. Gardenia Bakeries KL is a joint venture between QAF Limited, which is a Singapore-based food firm, and Padi Beras Nasional Berhad, which owns Gardenia Singapore, Gardenia Philippines, and Gardenia KL. It was established in 1986 and successfully worked until now. Gardenia Bakeries KL is based in Shah Alam, Selangor, and produces over 53 items, including bread, buns, rolls, wraps, waffles, spread, as well as yellow noodles. A bit of history in the form of Gardenia. In 1969, the International Executive Service Corps (IESC) sent Horatio Sayce Slocums, an American, to East Malaysia to operate a bakery. With 35 years of experience in one of the largest bakeries chain in America, he started his own bakery with Gardenia as the name, and the label still refers to the product as Uncle Slocum's original recipe in honor of Mr. Slocum's contribution to it. As they are using different type of techniques and recipes for making bread, Gardenia has become one of the most dominant product in the food and bakeries industry. Aside from its affordable price, Gardenia gained love among East Asian for its method of making dough that guarantees a tasteful flavor, and its distinctive dough which leads them on receiving numerous awards and long-listed achievements. In a span of only 4 years, with a brand recall of 99% and a top of mind recall 80%, Gardenia Bakeries Malaysia became the #1 bread supplier. As Malaysians increased the demand for loaf and bread, it made an investment in completely automatic manufacturing in 1991, making them able to produce over 6,000 loaves per day. After 4 years, they can operate over 10,000 loaves in an hour, resulting from the additional state-of-the-art plant. Now, they are able to produce over 900,000 loaves per day, making it Southeast Asia's largest bread maker. Gardenia's ISO 22000-2005 certification, Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point HACCP certification, Malaysian Institute of Food Technologies MIFT, Highly Commended Product Award, and a National Creativity and Innovation Award are all proof of the company's unwavering commitment to product integrity. The success of Gardenia has rippled throughout the industry. Major corporations such as Padi Beras Nasional Berhad have acknowledged Gardenia. Gardenia got the Universal Integrated System ISI 2020 certification from the Research Institute of Standards in Islam in 2005. For 3 years, the brand got the Superbrand Award from 2003 to 2005. In Malaysia, it won the Superbrand Consumer Choice Award in 2006, and in 2008, it was recognized as a Superbrand. Gardenia's search into the top 10 brand list. The Nielsen Company conducted a Gardenia Super Brands survey in 2009 and 2011. The Association of Accredited Advertising Agents recently presented the Bread Giants with the Putra Brands Award. Next, I'll pass to the next members.
My name is Lopoteng, no matrix 285028. The next is Chapter 2, Analysis of Demand and Supply. For 2.1 are described above, increasing price of Gardenia products affect the demand. The price of a Gardenia items and the quantity demanded for Gardenia's items have an inverse relation. In an inverse relation, the higher price leads to reduced quantity of demand, whereas the lower price will lead to the higher quantity demand. From December 1, 2021, local bread company Gardenia Bakeries KL raised the pricing of its 30X products. The considerable increase in production costs and ingredients, according to Gardenia Bakeries, was beyond their control and has forced the company to adjust prices. The diagram shows some examples for the Gardenia bread. The price was increased. During MCO Movement Control Order, demand for Gardenia breads increased. Some stores took advantage by raising the price of bread due to the increase in demand for the Gardenia bread. We can observe the change in quantity demand for Gardenia bread in the diagram above. If the price rises from 3 ringgits to 4 ringgits, The quantity demanded falls from 20 to 10 packets. Relationship between the percentage change in quantity demand for an item and percentage changes in any of its determinants is quantified by the elasticity of demand, such as price, income, and so on. We can see the financial year ends 2020 and 2021 from the diagram. We can see that several operations showing a decrease of 9.90 million ringgit, or 4.56% as compared to the previous financial year. As a result, the quantity demanded for bread has decreased as most Sarawak residents grumbled about the price hike and were unable to accept it because it was too expensive. Even if the price of bread is rising, some consumers are still willing to buy. Consumers have been purchasing it on a regular basis for the past few years, and they will never switch brands due to the brand reality. Consumers with lower incomes are more willing to switch brands, as money is one of the major determinants of the amount of Gardenia bread purchased. Substitution impacts occur in these situations. Example, consumers are more likely to buy it when the price of Gardenia bread is 2 ringgit 50 cents, but they are more likely to switch brands when the price rises to 2 ringgit and 80 cents. It is unimportant whether it's high, fine, or much more, as long as the bread is less expensive to the Gardenia. The amount of bread determines decides when the price of bread rises and people can no longer afford it.
Hi, my name is Wong Hui Ling, metric number 285352. Now, I would like to continue the next analysis, which is the Government Policy Movement Control Order MCO affect the demand and supply in the market. Starting on March 18, 2020, Government Malaysia announced MCO due to a higher case of the COVID-19 pandemic increasing. MCO measure encompass restriction on movement, international travel, and mandated the closure of business and industry. Now, let's look at the figure 2.1 on the screen, which show the demand curve shift to the right from D0 to D1 when demand increase. Consumers becoming panic buying and buy more bread lead to increased demand for bread when the government implement MCO. In originally at price P, quantity Q0 was demanded. Once the demand curve shift to the right at the same price P, more quantity Q1 will be demanded. Based on figure 2.2 show the supply curve shift to the left from S0 to S1 when supply decrease. This is because the shutdown of industries lead to decreased supply of bread when government implement MCO. In originally at price P, quantity Q0 was supplied. Once the supply curve shift to the left at the same price P, less quantity Q1 will be supplied. Now, you can see on the table show the revenue from the Gardenia Bakery's annual report, which refer to demand of Gardenia bread had increased in 2020. During MCO, the demand for bread increased due to the panic buying by consumers. Based on the article, total production of Gardenia Bakeries increased by 5% from the time when the MCO was implemented. While inventories refer to supply of the Gardenia Bakeries, which show decreasing in 2020. Gardenia Bakeries KL Sdn Berhad announced that it will not be able to increase its market product supply. This is because, according to the bread manufacturer, due to the fact that its factories had already achieved their maximum capacity, even though the demand is high. Besides, decreasing in supply also due to the shutdown of industries for the reason stopping production inventories during the MCO period. Therefore, consumers' expenses are influenced by government policy in almost every factor of life nowadays. Government policy influence the quantity of an item provided, which is supply, or the amount of transaction to spend on those items, which is demand. In short, government policy influence on the food industry result from its consequence on the connected supply to consumers, and also the sudden shift in demand and supply. Now, I will pass the presentation to Danish. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Gardenia Sdn and I'm here to elaborate more about analysis 3. The increasing production of Gardenia will affect the demand. Increasing production of products means that more output is produced from the same amount of inputs in order to generate a meaningful information about the productivity of a given system. Production functions are used to measure it. If the amount of production increases, it will increase the quantity demanded of that goods. While the amount of production decreases, the quantity demanded will also decrease. In March 2020, Gardenia Sdn has increased its production 2.2 million loaves a day. This amount of production increased through its 5 factories operating 24 hours a day. According to Mr. Desmond Tan, the General Manager of Gardenia, this Gardenia production was 5% increase in the total production before the implementation of the Movement Control Orders, MCO. The objective of the General Manager is to ensure that this supply can meet 60% of the demand of bread from all over Peninsular Malaysia. This statement has been said by him after welcoming the Deputy Minister of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, Dr. Rosal Wahid, after visiting the factory. Despite increased bread production, it has always met established standards from cleanliness, delivery and expiry date. According to Section 11 of India's Factories Act of 1948, it states that every factory must be kept clean and free from effluvia arising from any drain, privy or other nuisance. It also states that dirt accumulation must be removed daily by sweeping or other effective means. Gardenia increases their product by 5% because they get a high demand and is at their maximum level of production. According to the Gardenia Sdn, they will continue to produce breads and have asked the consumers to buy according to their daily needs. They also will deliver the products to every outlet as usual. On 17 March, Gardenia has given a statement that they will continue to manufacture and distribute their products despite the MCO. Gardenia KL is without a doubt one of the Malaysia's leading bread manufacturers. However, the company has stated that it is currently unable to meet consumer demand. Many people went into panic buying mode just days before the Movement Control Orders was implemented. As a result, a large number of food products were purchased by consumers due to MCO. Gardenia was one of the top companies, but still they cannot afford to keep producing their products during MCO because they have reached their limits of production and the high demand of breads from the consumers. And after that, they managed to add 5% of their production because they want to fulfill every demand of all the consumers.
Hello, my name is Khairul Azman Biabullah with metric number 253716 and I will explain about the conclusion. So during the pandemic, panic buying by Malaysians caused sales of Gardenia bread to increase, even only for a short time in MCO in the early start. However, the cost of product materials increased due to volatile import and export activities between countries. This has caused the product price increase and supposed to cause demand to decrease slightly, but it's vice versa. Even as overall view in 2020, the production in factory reaches full capacity. This may be due to people's lifestyle changing to adapt to the lockdown. Many citizens start to take care of their diet and choose healthier food. For example, rice is changed with rice with bread and the use of healthy food delivery services are increased for 200%. Flexible or have high ability to change and adapt new environment is important for every type of company, including Gardenia itself. This is to survive for unexpected event like pandemic. Besides the early population, but the capability to set new strategies to understand government policy and people's needs are very crucial. Besides, a quick responsiveness to demand in logistics helps a company to maintain its position in business. Having Gardenia's own supply chain and e-commerce give Gardenia high durability despite unexpected crises. Improvement in this strength it surely makes a company long-lasting. So that's all. Thank you.